what is like the average reaction to getting your cards read for the first time? Are most people like, yes, this makes so much sense, or are there times where people are like, this was like the completely like I didn't recognize this about myself? Like, what is the
Are
average
you
response?
trying to fuck around and find out?
I'm absolutely trying to get Justin to fuck around and find
We
out.
were talking about this before. Shrey, I see you have a deck. Shrey's actually deathly terrified.
But after hearing you talk about this, I'm less terrified.
Should we read your cards?
I'm down. I'm
Are
down.
you?
Yeah,
I'm so
actually
down.
down.
I have your consent.
You have my consent,
Okay.
yes.
This is
Well,
amazing.
it's because like I used to think like tarot card reading is like if you pull like the death card, it was like you're gonna die, and I'm like, oh my god, like I don't want to hear this.
No, that is such. It's probably the main misconception is that the cards are literal and that there are bad cards and good cards. The death card is my favorite card in the deck because it's transformation. It's like, wow, something in my life is shifting and making room for me to grow and reach a next level. Like Shrey 2.0 is on the other side of this card. So then it's asking you, like, what do you need to drop to reach that point? Like, what's not serving you? Where are you tied down? Have you asked yourself that?
I love that.
I feel like this could be good for you.
This could be really
Yeah. Are there tarot card readers though that maybe do take it literally that are maybe quote unquote frauds?
I think there's scam artists all over the place.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think scam artists are drawn to tarot, drawn to psychic readings because it would be relatively easy to make it up. Right?
Yeah.
I could pull a card and be like, "Oh my god, you're going to meet the love of your life tomorrow." And you'll be like, "I'm coming back to tell me what she looks like." And but that's also what's frustrating when you're trying to like help people understand themselves and feel seen, and this is a tool that so many people are closed off to because they've seen one too many movies, or it's just like, why does it have to be scary and witchy and weird?
I feel like a lot of dudes are closed off to it.
I mean, should we talk about dudes?
Yeah.
I don't mean to like bring up dudes just in general, but like I feel like
Why
not?
When we were growing up, like I didn't know what tarot was. I didn't have any like conceptions of it, positive or negative, and I feel like just like if I had brought it up to you all in high school, like, hey, I got my cards read, I feel like that wouldn't have been cool.
Yeah, and we also grew up in Texas. We grew up like in pretty like masculine settings, or like traditional toxic masculine settings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious. Like, do you see that as a trend across like your close connections and network?
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think so much of our lives is fear-based, particularly if you are religious. Tarot, people will say it's like the devil's work, like you're channeling Satan, or if you identify as male, like masculine energy, like emotions are not traditionally masculine.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's dumb.
It is dumb, but it also is like we're afraid. We're afraid of what people think of us. We're afraid to like go against the norm. We're afraid that we're gonna go to hell. Like we're terrified. We're so terrified that we don't even want to hear like how we could be better. We'd rather not know.
Yeah.
It is funny when you flip it on its head. It's like self-improvements, being a better person, like better friend, better partner, better like family member.
Yeah.
It's like,
not manly.
That's not manly.
Yeah, like, but you're so down to do your annual performance review at work and get your promotion or your bonus, but you won't do that personally.
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah. Do you think it's just because people are afraid of their flaws? Like it's the insecurity about it, and they're afraid of confronting them or confronting difficult things in their life?
I think, hot take, I think people are afraid of who they really are, or they're afraid that they don't actually know. I think so many of us have spent our entire lives building this facade and this barrier and curating our friends and curating our life, that if we really sat down and asked ourselves, like, strip it all away, like, who am I? We couldn't come up with an answer. And they don't want to go there.
Yeah. I think the flip side, the one that I've like worked through in therapy and talked about more is the first part of that of like, oh, if I express my true self, then I'll be alone.
Right.
Or then like people won't like it or won't be validated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shows up in so many ways. It shows up in your profession. It shows up in your dating life. Like, so many people settle.
Yeah.
It's real.